Okay, so in this video, we're just going to do a couple of exercises working on upper body strength, really strengthening the arms, but the body as a whole as well. So everything has to sort of start to kick in and work with these movements. They come from the animal flow repertoire, and they're based in a sort of quadrupedal position, so down on the mat, 4-point kneeling, but also a seated position with the hands and the feet on the floor. So see how you go, and hopefully you'll find that they will be good for building your body strength, and like I say, particularly the upper body. We're going to start down in our 4-point kneeling position. The hands are going to be placed underneath the shoulders. Spread through the fingers and the thumbs as much as you comfortably can, and then the knees are going to be just slightly forward of the hips. You've got about a fist distance between the knees. Really try and feel like you're pushing down through the hands to find that sense of lift of the breastbone away from the floor, and also then building that strength into the lateral sides of the rib cage. And the shins are just settled on the mat, and the back of the neck is nice and long. Think of sending the sit bones out towards the wall behind you, so you're not tucking the tailbone under. In that position, just feel that you're going to lift one hand just away from the floor, just enough to slide a piece of paper underneath that hand, and you bring the hand back down. The other hand just lifts, and you bring the hand back down. So you're going from 4 points of contact, 2 hands, 2 shins and knees on the floor, to 3 points of contact as you lift one hand away. You return. Other hand just lifts, and then you return. So small micro movements again. Try not to shift through the body too much. So see how that feels for you in the body. And now this time we're going to keep both hands down and just lift one knee just off the floor again. Micro lift just enough to slide a piece of paper underneath the knee, and then you come back down. You can lift the knee, you can lift the foot as well if you want to, and then you return. And again to the other side. And again, just notice in the body how the body responds, how everything in the body has to kick in to help support and stabilize you in this position. If it's comfortable for you and you want to progress a little further, opposite hand, opposite knee can lift. So then we're going from 4 points of contact to 2. So take your time, keep the movement small. You just pick the opposite hand and knee up. Again, you're trying not to disturb anything else through the body as much as possible. And then the final little part here, if you want to challenge a little bit more, and if it's comfortable on your toes, you can have your toes tucked under, and then just see if you can hover the knees just off the floor. And then you release down. So again, as you start to pick the knees up, think of drawing the tummy in very slightly, and the whole body has to kick in and work here. And we release. And again, just press the knees up. If it's too much to lift the knees, just stay with the previous exercise. You don't want to push yourself further than is comfortable for you. And then let the knees rest down, come off the wrists, and then just bring the back of the hands towards each other into the wrist relief position. Just have a little break there before our next exercise. So with these exercises, you want to make sure that you have warmed up the wrists first. You don't obviously want to be putting any strain through the wrists. Our next exercise, we're going to come around to a seated position. You're going to have the knees bent and the feet flat, again about a fist distance between the feet, maybe a little bit wider. The hands are going to come on the floor behind you. The fingertips can either be facing backwards, or if you need to turn the hands out slightly, that's fine too. And just find a placement for the hips there. So if this isn't comfortable for you, then obviously you could just work through the other exercise as we did before. If it is comfortable on the shoulders, just see if you can move the hips towards the feet, come back towards the hands. It's just a small lift, and you're just finding the placement of the hips. You come back somewhere in between and just find that position there that feels right for you in the body. Think of pressing down through the hands, pressing down through the feet, lifting through the breastbone. The back of the neck stays long. Imagine you're trying to peer over your neighbour's fence. Not that I would suggest you do that. Easing it off. And again, press down through the hands, press down through the feet. Try and feel that sense of length and that lift. The back of the neck stays nice and long. So just in that sense of pushing down to lift the breastbone up, you're going to hopefully feel the arms start to kick in and a little bit of work through the legs and the rest of the body as well. Again, you can soften and then you press down to lift. And if you want to add a little bit more challenge, see if you can just lift the hips away from the floor. Again, it's a micro movement, just an inch, no more, and then you release back down. And again, you press down through the hands, press down through the feet, lifting the breastbone, the shoulder blades are drawing down, you just lift the hips, and then you release, coming back down. And again, you press down, you just lift, keep it small, see how it feels, rest at any point that you need to, releasing down. If you would like a further challenge, you press down, you just lift, and then you could see if you could just lift one foot from the floor, bring it back, the other foot just lifts, and bring it back. So again, see how that feels. If that's a little bit too much, just stay with the previous version. That'll be good. But again, as you should hopefully be able to feel, everything in the body has to kick in. Let the hips rest down when you're ready to lengthen the legs away. Again, you can come into that wrist relief position, the back of the hands towards each other, or just do a little figure of 8 with the fingers interlocked. And hopefully that's just given you a couple of little exercises to work on to help build your body strength, particularly through the upper body. Thank you.